We are going off the rails. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this show dedicated to Disney and Tangents. I am your host, Craig Williams, and today we are going to talk about seasons streamings on Disney Plus and probably a bunch of other stuff because apparently myself is the only, me, myself, and I are the only ones here in this room who bask in the holiday goodness available on Disney Plus. I'll give Denny a little bit of a nod.
Thank you.
She does a little bit too, but it's just me and her. It's just me and her. And the Grinch over in the corner.
I like movies.
He's watching 8-Bit Christmas over on HBO Max. That's a lie. He hasn't watched that either.
Oh, I have it saved in my thing right now, actually. Not kidding. Yeah.
It's not good. Spoiler alert.
Oh, no.
We'll get to all that and more just in a second. But before I do that, I need to actually explain who's at the table. I guess I really don't now because, well, we already covered that Denny Sunderly's here.
Hi there.
And Rhino's here. Mm-hmm. And then the last one is Jackie Gailey.
Hello there.
Okay.
You need your Grinch gloves.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in my... I can
Hustle.
go get them.
Hustle on out there.
Whoa, I have to stop and pause here. There's no such thing as Grinch gloves.
Forgive me.
The Grinch sometimes just happens to be in the same place as us, just always slightly off camera, and just makes his appearance known very quickly and quietly with his hands. So, Rhino, you cannot.
It's in my glove box in my car.
Hey, you know what? You have a second. If you really want to do that, it does not play well for the audio audience at all. But I will take a moment right now, and this would be a good time to get up if you had to remind you that this show is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. Do you like our content? Do you want to support us a little bit more than you already do by just watching or listening? Well, then you can always book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel, servicing Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Universal Orlando, all of that good stuff. And the best part about using Dreams Unlimited Travel is you get the support of having a Dreams Unlimited Travel agent, but it will cost you no extra money. It is the same amount you would pay if you booked on yourself, but you just get that extra help. Or if you just want to support us and you don't want their help, you just say, beat it, bozo. I don't need your help. I'm going to do it all on my own. It is really your choice. But at the end of the day, it does support us. So if you are interested, head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for a free, no obligation quote. Oh, the Grinch showed up somehow. I don't know how that happened, but the Grinch is leaving. Bye-bye, Grinch. Okay, so seasons streamings on Disney Plus. This is, it's not just about season streamings. This is more of, have we been watching anything on Disney Plus this season? You know, Disney Plus Day happened back on November 12th. Too much fanfare and I'm sure a lot of disdain also at points in time too, but there's been so much coming on to Disney Plus, and then of course too, the holiday season gave us a new Marvel show with Hawkeye. It's been an exciting time, so I just wanted to have a discussion about everything, and mostly I finally want a reason to talk about Home Sweet Home Alone, because during one of our Patreon after shows that we have after our Walt Disney World Edition podcasts on Tuesdays, we did a complete watch through the Home Sweet Home Alone trailer while kind of talking about it and critiquing it. It was a ton of fun doing that. And since that point in time, no one else has watched it here. No one. And I guess the first thing I have to ask is, why?
Because Kim, my best friend, she works for Looper, and they got a screener of it, and she was telling me about how she was watching it, and she said it was probably the worst movie that she has ever had to watch, that it felt uninspired and was a forced sequel. And so I expected to just hear nothing but bad things come out of it, and then I heard from Craig and Kylie they actually kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, well, I gotta go either way. But Kim also thinks the worst movie she's ever seen in her entire life is Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Well, I was going to say, we did our movie club over the pandemic with Kim, and I feel like you and I have closer ties to what we like in movies than you and Kim have.
No, 100%.
So
no question.
I would still give it a shot. I don't think that's a good enough reason to not give it a shot, but at least we know Rhino's reason now. Denny, your reasoning.
Listen, I will give you my reason. While I have viewed the Home Alone movies,
She doesn't like the child negligence.
In my mind, we're gonna get torn for interrupting Denny after asking her to talk. But in my mind, she's like, "Listen, I've watched the Pierce Brosnan. I've watched the Daniel Craig James Bonds 8 times out of order. I don't have time for Home Alone.
I've been busy.
I don't have time. No, here's the deal. I think the Grinch might agree with me. I'm not 100% sure. But I have watched Home Alone. I enjoy the Home Alone movies. Do they hold a special place in my Christmas season, holiday season heart? No, they don't. They are not
Did
movies.
not expect that answer.
No,
Like, honestly.
they are not movies I have to watch over and over and over again. Like we have already watched Christmas Vacation for this
do like
season.
that.
That's
Good one.
That I feel is as close to a must do as possible. But for me, and so I go, there's another Home Alone. Okay, eventually I will watch that when I have nothing else left to watch. And right now, I am doing another rewatch of Parks and Rec over watching Home Sweet Home Alone.
I just literally got a text from Kim as if her ears were burning about
Oh no,
Disney
she knows.
Plus. Yeah.
She was
That's
being
so funny.
discussed.
Wait, so like, I mean, I don't know if... it had been a while since I had watched them, and then finally, I think like 2 years ago, I finally committed and bought them on like Blu-ray because there was a sale for the first and second one. And like, I remember seeing the second one in the movie theater. Like my brother and Macaulay Culkin looked exactly alike when they were at that same age. They do not look anything alike right now. But like, so it was one of those where we always made the joke. We're like, here's Mike's big break, you know, like, and so I think Macaulay Culkin has a special place in my heart. But I did watch, when I rewatched them a couple of years ago as an adult, like having seen them in a while, I'm like, I still do love them. I like them. Both of them.
Yeah, granted, Rhino and I grew up in a time of Home Alone. Like that was our time because we felt that we could be Macaulay Culkin. We felt we could be Kevin McAllister.
Oh, Sandy wouldn't have done it on accident. It would have been on purpose.
We're going to dive a little bit more into Denny and Home Alone because I am interested in this. But first, I called out Rhino. I called out Denny. Jackie, why haven't you made time for it?
You know, that's a good question. I love the original. I love them. I think they're so fun. And the Grinch is visiting me too. I don't know why I haven't made time to watch it. I just have not. We have a little bit of a rule in our house. So, and we're going to have a discussion about this going forward because usually with Christmas movies, we watch them all together as a family. And when your children grow up and one of them no longer lives in your house, and they both have jobs,
you forget about them.
That's difficult. Well,
if you're my mom,
I'm like hanging on to them. I have like this grip, like a death grip over here. I'm like, no, I refuse to watch a movie without the full family, the Christmas movie. And so that's really why we haven't watched it yet, because after Thanksgiving dinner, we always watch Christmas Vacation. So did that. We were all there. It was great. But we haven't all been together since then. So I'm holding out.
There you go.
Because I want to watch it when we're all hanging out together. So, yeah. Longer
Fair
than
enough.
necessary.
I don't know if you're ever all going to be together. I
think
the idea of you being all together is just somewhere in your memory.
I know this is Disney Plus discussion, but I'm sorry. So what is
it was a Home Alone setup.
It's okay, but what? Oh, I see. Okay, I see what you got there. Sorry.
Okay, sorry, Rhino.
No, I'm sorry. Also, I feel like you missed an opportunity to wear your jacket today.
I'm not going to talk about why I didn't wear it.
Oh, okay. Denny, so what is Christmas Vacation your like must every year?
It isn't. It isn't. Like I don't have any.
You don't have one.
I don't have any that I have to watch.
Oh,
what about you?
Has to be Elf.
It has to be Elf.
Elf.
Oh, it's Monster?
Oh, yeah.
Charlize Theron's Monster?
Yeah, Charlize Theron's Monster.
That's
Christmas must.
fantastic. I mean, I enjoy watching them. Like if I decide to watch Elf or if Elf is on, I love that. But I'm good with whatever.
Craig?
Oh, you know it's not Elf.
Is yours Muppet's Christmas
despise
Carol?
that. Yeah, Muppet Christmas Carol is without.
I know you despise
Wait,
Elf,
you
but you
just
married
said you
somebody.
despise
You married
Elf?
somebody who loves it. That's the
Oh my
problem
gosh,
too. Yeah.
you don't eat chocolate chunks and you don't like Elf.
no.
What is the problem?
Yeah,
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. I feel like I just never was able to come around on Elf because at the time I watched it when it first came out and everyone was losing their mind about it. I'm like, it's not really that funny. I think Will Ferrell's more funny on Saturday Night Live and in other movies. So this isn't like it's still him, but it's not really the same. And what's his name? Angry Dad. James Caan.
Caan.
He is so unlikable in it. And so it's one of those ones that I never, and I
He
didn't.
doesn't like Zoe Deschanel.
No, it was,
love her.
she's actually one of my favorite parts of Elf. I wish she even was in it more than she is. But yeah, so it's just, listen, I'm a huge Will Ferrell fan. And I will pause on so many of his movies to watch anytime they're on, but Elf it's just never been one. It's just I feel like that's why it's so many people love Will Ferrell movies, but I feel like I'm like I will watch all of his other movies before watching Elf, and most people would say I don't care for Will Ferrell, but I like that Elf movie. So that's my
See,
perspective.
All right.
Yeah, and that makes sense too. You know what I secretly think it is that I just want to believe that the North Pole is actually a place
Of course.
that I can go where all of the hot chocolate is perfect every time.
So you want the Santa Claus?
That's exactly what it sounds like.
But they move up there in this.
Santa Claus 2.
With his cocoa
Oh, I'm
machine in the
skipping around with
sleigh.
movies, right? That's I'm talking.
No,
about
I
the
thought you
wrong
just
movie.
meant in real life.
I do want to do it in real
Yeah.
life, but we were talking about Home Alone, and then I skipped movies because I had it in my brain.
I think what Jackie's saying is that one day she just wants to slip into like a Christmas coma where she believes she's in the North Pole forever.
Like the
There you
little,
go.
like how they're in the workshop
When
and they're
I
making
go
the
out,
toys.
I want to go out, and that's my special
'cause
spot.
That's what I.
That's where you're gonna find Mama resting in the snowdrifts
Yeah,
of the
I
North
just-
Pole.
Yeah.
Dead.
Or
Like
the
Jack
Pacific
Torrance
Northwest,
in The
either
Shining.
one.
The Pacific Northwest would
But
definitely
with a cup of
be
cocoa.
that would work. But the cocoa I got from the Santa Claus. You're right. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he left me for
It's a
dead.
combination of I just want it all to be
Eaten
in
by a
this
polar bear.
magical snow globe, and that's where I want to go.
So
Elf now streaming on HBO Max. Got the
Home
plug.
Alone, though, speaking of, I'm just sitting here and thinking about it, and I'm like, here's the thing. I think the Home Alone franchise did a disservice to itself by cornering itself into the market of a Christmas movie, whereas Home Alone 1 could have been Christmas. Home Alone 2, I do like Escape from New York.
Lost in New York
Escape from New York. It's trying to get out of New York.
with Snake Plissken.
I was gonna say, I think it was
Kurt Russell running around.
It was Kurt Russell played the McAllister kid. in that one.
you out of here.
But I'm thinking like, why didn't that family travel any other time of the year? Because they could have easily done a St. Patty's Day. They left him at the bar or something like that. I don't know. Like now I'm realizing they really missed the opportunity to make it a holiday franchise instead of just Christmas.
So I think the reason for that is that at Christmas they do it all as a family, so that's why there's so
Is there,
many
like,
kids
tradition?
together. It's just there's so many people that it's easy to kind of lose a kid in the loop with that. So that's why it has to specifically take place over Christmas, and then probably other holidays or other like summer vacation. That doesn't mean they're traveling with all 12, 13, 14 McAllisters. Probably just, the immediate families are there for that. And it's a lot easier to notice when you only have 4 kids. Like, hey, one of them's missing. But when you have
Don't talk to me
18 people loading up the vans and the neighbor kid is poking around in the luggage and stuff, it's a lot easier to make mistakes.
That
I won't say that.
family should not be allowed to travel.
You got that kid from Pete and Pete, older Pete. Isn't he one of the kids? Is his siblings?
If it's not him, he looks exactly like him.
Yeah,
I know
right?
exactly who
you
you're
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He doesn't really. He's got like 3 lines in the movie or something like that.
What about you? What are the
Gremlins.
ones?
Well, no. We're still not. We still have to grill Denny on
gosh.
why she
We're not
doesn't
gonna let it
connect
go.
with this. I will not let it go.
Why I don't like Home Alone?
Yeah.
Or I don't.
The unbelievability.
It is. It
The
is
science.
the unbelievable. It's the unbelievable. It's me going, really. It's fine. It's good. I enjoy it. I'll watch it. But is it something that's a warm fuzzy to me? No.
Oh, the part in the
Like,
church
there's-
where the old man,
I
he
do-
learns the old man. I was like, ugh,
I
gets me.
do enjoy that, but I don't connect with Kevin. I just don't connect with Kevin. And then the second one, really, this is going wrong again. And I think time to sit down and enjoy what I want to enjoy is limited, and like it all is, because we're all grown-ups. And so I just go, that's not the one that I'm going to enjoy.
Yet you're watching The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man 2. saying,
That's
wow.
for research.
That
That's
Andy,
for science.
that Andy Garfield.
No, so this is why I am going to sell you on Home Sweet Home Alone now.
Okay.
It's been out for over a month, so the fact that y'all didn't watch it yet, and I'm not spoiling it in that I've listened to podcasts where, like, when Ellie Kemper, one of the stars from The Office, and Kimmy Schmidt, all that, when she talks about it, she also just tells the plot of the movie.
Wait, Kimmy Schmidt is in it?
Yeah, she's the.
Okay,
She's the
then
two, there's like the two criminals, and it's Kimmy Schmidt and then the dad from that
No. Well,
Fox
like Kimmy
comedy
Schmidt.
that was like.
and Pete
that had
Holmes
Cloris
is in
Leachman.
it.
Yeah, Pete Holmes is the dad, and then
Okay.
it's like British Emily Deschanel is the mom.
Yeah. So I'm gonna spoil it for you. Here's why I think you would actually like it more than if you say you can't resonate with Kevin. Home Sweet Home Alone is not about the kid. It is about the guy who does all the voiceovers, the Rob Delaney. I can't remember his exact last name.
Rob Delaney is from Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh no, that's Rob McElhaney.
Oh,
So I'm talking about the one who
the
does
guy
like
from
the
the Cloris
voice.
Leachman show.
You keep saying Cloris Leachman. I don't watch Cloris Leachman's library quite like you do. Apparently, are you talking about Raising Hope?
Yes,
That's Facts
yes.
of Life,
That's the
right?
dad
I've
from
never
Raising
watched
Hope.
it once.
Well,
So if you can confirm that, I would be happy with it. I know Ellie Kemper for sure. I'm solid on that one. It is
Okay.
1,000% her.
And I like me some
Kimmy-
Kimmy Schmidt. So.
Kimmy Schmidt. Yes, it is Kimmy Schmidt, Aaron from The Office, all that, and her husband, who is Rhino.
it's the internet is slow. Hold on. Here it is. Here it is. I don't know. I was thinking it was Garrett Dillahunt.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my! You know what? You know what they tell you when a job so easy can't be done by anyone
Shut
else.
up.
You
I'm now
do
on
it
the Home
yourself.
Sweet Home Alone page.
Rob Delaney.
Oh, Rob Delaney. Yeah, I know
Okay.
Rob Delaney because he's the guy who was in Queen.
Rhino.
Queen.
Queen what?
Oh, he wasn't in it.
I straight up want to murder you.
He's in Mission Impossible 7.
I want.
What was the
I
Queen
want
movie?
to hurt you.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Qu-
He wasn't in it.
Oh.
See, I thought Queen Elizabeth.
I'm thinking of Rob, the guy from Deadpool 2.
That's that Deadpool 2. That is Rob. So we still haven't gotten anywhere.
It's all
with
good. Kimmy Schmidt's in
any
it.
of this. Kimmy Schmidt is in it with her husband Rob Delaney, and they are in financial troubles. And they are finding out right at Christmas time that they're probably going to lose their house because they can no longer pay for their mortgage.
Their mansion.
But it turns out that they have a family artifact that it's not a mansion. This is a upper middle class home, not like McAllister style. There's still those family, they have the wild, insanely huge house. Their house is moderate. It's normal. It's
Okay.
what you just want to keep it. It's your family house. You grew up in it, but they might have to sell it because they run out of money. Found out that they have a family heirloom that has gone missing, and they thought that it's stolen by the little kid from Jojo Rabbit that is the Kevin in this, because they were having an open house at their house and he had to stop in to use the bathroom, and they had a little friction. So they thought they think that he stole it. And so now they aren't trying to break in to rob them. They are trying to break into their house to retrieve the stolen
Okay.
item. And that is
Okay.
the plot of the movie. So the new Home Sweet Home Alone, you sympathize. The Kevin kid, he is a little jerk. He is the most
Kevin's a
unlikable.
jerk?
He is the most unlikable
Okay,
character,
good.
and you are the entire time you are banging your head against a wall, saying, "Why are you just a little crappy kid in this? Like, why are you the way that you are?" And meanwhile, you're like, we want them to get their money so they can save their house and they don't have to
Okay.
disappoint their kids by moving away. So it's, I feel like it is a sequel to Home Alone and Home Alone 2 because there is one character from the first two
Buzz.
movies. Yes.
He's in the
Exactly.
preview. It's in the preview.
Yeah.
It shows and Buzz would be a cop.
Yeah. So it's a sequel because of that, not just a reboot.
Okay.
But I think I hope I sold you on why you might enjoy it a little bit more. And a lot of the
Yeah.
stupid slapstick stuff that we hated from the trailer, it is such a minimal amount with it. Whoever cut that trailer was like, this is the only way people are going to want to watch it. And once again, I mean, I feel like Off the Rails is turning into how about a bunch of white people sitting around a table questioning decisions of how other people are doing their jobs. But that's what we did. And that's, it wasn't as bad as I thought for that reason. So
There you
please enjoy it. But Rhino, before you take us off Disney Plus one more time, should Denny and I just talk about reasons why you should be watching Hawkeye?
Sure.
It's so good.
I'm gonna watch it. You're not me. You're convincing. Convince the audience.
When will you watch it?
I already started watching the first episode and I felt guilty. So I was like, oh, I can't do that. The day it came out, I started watching it, but I was at my friend's house. So I was like,
Okay.
are you pulling up the trailer for us right now in your pocket? Yeah.
I think
We have sound
I was on IMDb and I didn't close the app right away. It's for Matrix Resurrections.
Oh, which I'm very
Why
excited
is
for.
my phone still playing?
It just wants Keanu in the conversation. Let Keanu
Okay.
be in here.
My
We're in
bad.
the Matrix.
My mistake on that. So where were we? Denny?
The Matrix.
Grilling Rhino?
The Matrix. Yes, so you will watch it at some point.
100% I'm going to watch it. I just literally was like, the day I was starting it, I was like, if Eli wakes up and comes downstairs right now and I'm 30 minutes into this 40-minute episode, I'm going to have to rewatch it. And I was like, I can't get myself to rewatch it twice in one day. So I was like, I just shut it off and was like, I'll just wait. And we even had plans to watch it. Kim kept saying, let's watch Hawkeye. Watch Hawkeye. But their sleep patterns are so weird because they're in like the restaurant industry that they're awake till 4:30 in the morning. So I'm just, every time they put anything on, I'm like dead asleep, like 1:30, 2. I was usually up to like 2:30 or 3. I just can't do it.
No.
I can't. I'm too old.
You're
The
too
corgis wake up at the same time no matter what.
The corgis.
So whenever
and
time I go to
children.
sleep, it's not like I can sleep later. It just means
No.
I'm giving up sleep.
That's exactly right.
It's like
I'm
the
so
twins.
Glad. I'm so glad that
The
my
what?
animals aren't the only.
It's like the twins from the
Yeah,
Matrix.
the way you
Reloaded.
talk about it, it's like I've got to watch the Sweet because of the twins.
The twins.
The twins.
Yeah. One will lick me awake. So
Oh.
Eli.
Oh.
no.
It's
Artie.
Hawkeye is just so good. I'm
Will I
just-
care about Hawkeye?
Yes, you
Okay.
will. You actually will empathize. You will feel feelings toward Clint Barton that you might not have felt toward him. And isn't that the beauty of having extra time on Disney Plus now to be able for them to tell these stories and delve into these? I don't want to call him a throwaway character because I know Hawkeye isn't a throwaway character.
No, but he
and-
hasn't really had his big moments in the MCU,
not
right?
in the MCU, he's not. But now we get to explore his character more and who he is now and aftermath of anything that's gone before. And they've also, like the first episode gives us a different look at some of the things that have gone before in the MCU, which makes it thrilled me to no end as a fan because I mean I just sat there on the couch and that's all I ever want is to be able to dig even deeper into the MCU. So this allows it. What do you think, Craig?
Well, I have to agree with a lot of what you said, and I think one of the things that the show does well is it acknowledges that Clint Barton knows that he is not Captain America or
Yes.
Thor, and he realizes his position on the Avengers in frustrating things. Like Rhino, have you watched I don't know how you missed the Rogers musical stuff. I'm sure you
No, I
watched
did
the
see.
clip
I
of that.
watched through that. Yeah,
Okay.
because I wanted to see that
So-
part, so
yeah.
I watched that.
So and that like a lot of that feelings, I feel like, does not resentful, but a lot of those feelings that do reside in him continue on as the episodes go on, like his frustration about like Ant-Man wasn't even there. Ant-Man
I
wasn't
remember
even
him saying
there.
that.
And, so he knows his place, and it's exploring it and showing why he is still important, but also like what he does well. And the third episode, they explore one aspect of him that in terms of like they show right away in the beginning.
The Ronin stuff?
No, not even with that. They obviously one of the things about being a superhero is you're around loud explosions and things like that, so they focus on his hearing.
I noticed that.
And they show a clip of his,
because in the first episode he's got a hearing aid in.
Exactly.
In the first 2 minutes, I didn't ruin anything. He's got a hearing aid.
Well, and it
I
was in the
assumed it was from
comics.
the. Well, I assumed it had happened from the explosion on when Thanos blew up their facility in the Endgame.
I will say too, I don't like the excuse though it was in the comics because I don't read comics, and
I don't either.
And so just
But I
because
do
something
know.
was in the comics, like it was like the same thing for Walking Dead, and that was a graphic novel, and well, it shouldn't be a spoiler of what's going to happen because it was in the comics.
It's not a
At the end
requirement
of
for you to read the source material to be able to appreciate, because it is in a different venue of art.
I do agree, but
different
for those,
medium.
But for those who have, for years and years read the comics, that's kind of a nice little wink and nod in there. in their direction.
I will say that it's nice that they are trying to, it's for those who are in the know, then they can feel like they're in the know a little bit more. But yeah, like that, the third episode gets to explore more of that, and it makes it like it makes him even more. I don't want to say empathetic or sympathetic, but there is a word out there, and unless Denny agrees with definitely human,
So
and
good.
yeah, it is
One
great.
scene in particular, like, oh my gosh, your heart just goes out to him.
But the most important thing is it says I love everything that Haley Steinfeld does. Like I don't think there's anything I've seen with her that I don't
Bumblebee.
like. I love Bumblebee.
No, I like Bumblebee.
Yeah.
I wish that was more like what the Transformers movies were actually like.
Yeah.
But I
Like, all
loved,
the way back
what was
to
it?
True
Was
Grit.
it 17? On the edge of 17 or something like that? That was the one she was in. That was
Well, I didn't see that one.
Oh
I've seen
my
the ones,
gosh,
like-
you didn't? That was her like big. I thought that was her like big.
No, her big one
movie.
was True Grit. That's the one that broke her out.
Oh, okay.
With-
It is called The Edge of 17. It's Woody Harrelson and her, and it's like a coming of age. I think you'd really like this movie.
I will have to watch it.
Yeah.
I do enjoy her. I mean, through the last two Pitch Perfect movies, she's one of the only tolerable aspects of those movies. And like you already said, Bumblebee. And I don't know, every time she pops up, I'm like, oh yeah, she's a really good actress, and she is. I don't want to say that I'm not invested in any of the female characters in the MCU, because there are so many that I truly enjoy and want to see more of. Like I can't wait for the next Guardians, and I do love Captain Marvel as much as you're a critic against it, Rhino. I
don't like Bray
I like it. I like the future, and I love a future that includes more Kate Bishop for sure, because she is she's a fun character
She is.
for sure. So I get out there and watch it. I will say, as this is a season streaming's holiday episode, I feel like they oversold the holiday aspect of it.
Yeah, it's a little forced.
Yeah, it's not even that it's forced to. It's just like it's the big dilemma that we come into year after year. Is it a Christmas movie because it takes place over the events of Christmas, or is there actual something that like drives it forward as a Christmas movie? And
It's like
now,
Iron Man 3.
yeah.
Oh,
That takes place at Christmas.
It
There's
does.
Christmas trees in the background and everything, but nobody
one
ever
of my
really even talks about
favorites.
Christmas in the movie.
Right now, the feeling that I have is, I mean, minus the crux that Clint Barton is stuck in the city and needs to get home to his family in time for Christmas. That is like the one runner with that. But I mean, you could have taken Christmas out of it and still said, "Dad, we just want you home," and you're kind of getting the same aspect. So right now, it's a little
Cats
weak
in the
for me.
cradle and the silver spoon.
Well, when your dad has a job where he's battling aliens and
How's that his job?
ultra-human
You get paid?
creatures.
You on payroll?
We'd have to go back and watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier for those answers.
Yep.
Which I believe the answer is
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
And that's it for our talk on payment in the MCU because I have nothing else to say about it. So, Rhino, I believe I interrupted you a while ago where you wanted to talk about Gremlins, but I don't really want you to talk about Gremlins.
Wasn't want to talk about it. I was just saying, I just wanted to really quick because Denny had said that wasn't part of her essential viewing. I didn't know if she had essential holiday viewing. And for me, my favorite Christmas movie is Gremlins.
Yeah. Gremlins for me is the
cool.
transition
Is a Christmas
movie. It's I use it as a transition when I'm like
gets it for Christmas.
Yeah, he does get him for Christmas. It's a very heavy Christmas movie, but that's why I like it. It's like it's still got the horror elements to it, but I can still feel a little Halloweenish, but it's a nice step into Christmas because it kind of
step into Christmas.
No, we don't. Elton John does not need to be a part of this. But it's the same way. Like once I get to, I will watch Christmas stuff on Thanksgiving. But once I watch Krampus, that is the final moment that I'm like, okay, I'm now happy Christmas from here on out. I can't watch any more movies about mythical German half goat men coming down and encapsulating families in their own personal hell. But it's a great movie if you haven't watched it before.
Scary Christmas.
What?
You have scary Christmas.
Only a couple. Only a couple scary Christmas. There's not a lot of scary Christmas movies. The Jack Frost one with the snowman, not the one with Michael Keaton. I know that's what Rhino's had one too. I mean, it is scary in terms of the quality. Same thing with Santa Claus 3. Am I right?
Oh, Martin Short,
Boom.
bless him.
Yeah.
But yeah, after
That's
that,
a
then you
rough
have like
I do like
Black
Santa.
Christmas.
Those are all on Disney Plus, right? Santa Claus
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Did you watch last year? Did you watch any of you watch the Lego Star Wars?
I haven't
Holiday
done it, but I'm
special?
going to watch it this year because I completely forgot about it. And I was at Hollywood Studios and I saw the Life Day merchandise that you had got. So I was like, I need to watch this year. I need to watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
And you didn't watch it, Denny?
I know.
Jesus.
No, I haven't. I know. I'm so sorry.
She doesn't like Legos. Those are for children.
I actually love Legos. I used to love playing Lego Star Wars with my son, and he always got frustrated because I wanted to go off and do other things and play around, and he'd be like, Mom, we need to keep going.
Oh,
So, yes.
my
Okay.
nephew is into
know.
Legos big time.
So now I have to ask the question, and I'll probably wrap it up on this.
No, I have a question for you before you wrap it up.
Go.
Good.
I saw today on the Twitter that the
I saw
Disney
3 ships come sailing in
I saw
on
3
Christmas
tweets come
Day,
sailing.
on Christmas Day.
that on the Disney Plus version of Muppets Christmas Carol, they are erasing the hand rods out of the scenes. So you don't see any of the puppetry stuff. Blasphemous.
They are doing that?
Yeah.
Has it already happened?
Yeah.
I don't watch it on Disney. I put in my Blu-ray of it.
Yeah.
So-
people were saying they were like,
Oh my gosh.
they don't understand why they would do that. But also like they're saying the conversation goes further where it's like when the streaming services being able to just kind of slip something in like this and not talking about it is there's no preservation in terms of the actual
work
film that
being
was
done.
made. Yeah. And so they're just going to keep snipping and editing and doing whatever here and there. So people aren't going to see the actual movie ever. That's what happens when
Well,
we don't have
yeah.
physical media.
Well, I mean, part of...
Also, my internet's been cutting in and out, and it has been a nightmare to watch any streaming services the last week.
Oh.
So I would have to watch it to actually know because as of the big news was last year is that they finally got the negative for When Love Is Gone.
Well, that was the
And-
thing that was brought up in the tweet because I went through the tweets and somebody brought that up.
Yeah, they found the negative last year, finally, like a good copy of it. So that way, when they did the 4K remaster, they were able to finally include it back in, which is something that Brian Henson has been asking for years and years and years and years. But it always like, well, we don't have it. We don't have it. We can't find it. We're going to pay people to find it. Never found it. They got it. And then back then he was saying, yeah, it's November and we know they're working on it. We don't know if it's going to be in time for Christmas last year. And then it just, I have not watched it on Disney Plus. So if they added it on at some point in time, I never knew about it. But I'm assuming that you'll see that version by the time they have the 30th anniversary, which is this coming year, 2022. But you know what? In terms of the rods, like they cut out it. They actively CGI'd out the rods in Muppets and the Muppets Most Wanted. So it's a direction that they have gone in with the Muppets as Disney has had more part in it. I don't know why they believe like, oh, if you can see the rods, then you can't actually believe that they're real Muppets, that they're real things. But overall, to me, it's a suspension of disbelief. If I'm not going to believe a fuzzy frog is more real if I can't see sticks hanging from its hands. It's like, if you can't just buy the fact that talking frog is real on its own, then that's that. But stuff like that annoys me. But it's not going to stop my enjoyment of Muppet Christmas Carol. I have it on every format. I have it at my house sitting on my shelf behind me that you sometimes see in shows. I have it on VHS, I have it on DVD, and I have it on Blu-ray. And it will be, I can promise you now, I still do not own a 4K Blu-ray. That will be the first one I buy. And probably the only one I buy because I'm against it. But I love Muppet Christmas Carol. The vinyl came out, and I bought 2 copies of it because I'm insane.
Just as like one to keep closed and one to put on the record player?
Yes.
In case something happens, yeah.
Yes. In case something happens. So it's beautiful. It's glorious. It is everything that I could have wanted from it and more. So that's the last question. The last one. So y'all pay for Disney Plus. Rhino got in at D23 Expo, so he was locked in for the 3 years at the price. So I won't say this applies to him as much, but if you're not, beyond the Marvel movies, you're going to watch the Book of Boba Fett, I'm sure, streaming very soon.
Yes.
What are you actually watching on Disney Plus? Do you find it to be worth your money?
No.
And will you subscribe after your current allotment?
As of
All
where,
3 of those.
As of where it stands right now, I do not think it is worth my money. Well, how much is it right now? It's like $8 now?
Yes.
It's right on that line where I'm like, it's still inexpensive enough where it's like, okay, because I just started watching Rebels. So I'm like, I like legit have restarted watching it again because I know I had said I'd start it before. But so I'm like, okay, but once I'm done with that and once Boba Fett's done is that, I don't feel like other than the Marvel shows, it has really been delivering in the aspect of where it's like I'm interested in any of the stuff I don't know that I feel like the stuff that's on there is organic. It feels like a lot of forced stuff to keep us on there. You know what I mean? At least with the Marvel shows, I feel like more or less those were all good, so far. And but I feel like Eli was watching Turner and Hooch and I was like, this feels not great. And that just got canceled. So I'm like, I don't know. And now Coach Bombay's not in season 2 of the Mighty Ducks. And I don't know. It's something I don't think I would ever completely go away from. I think I'd do the churn, cancel it for a couple months and then come back to it and then cancel it and then come back to it.
Yeah, well, no, because you always will, as long as they're only generating Marvel TV shows on that or Star Wars TV shows, you're always going to come back, but you're going to wait. That's the hard part too, though, with those. When you eventually come back to it, do you subscribe from the week? So you're going to be in for 2 months, basically.
Because essentially it's like I can't deal with the way spoilers have been in this.
Minus Hawkeye for you.
I don't know why. I just don't see the chatter about Hawkeye online as much as I did every single one of the other shows. But
it's because there's no spoilers in it. It's nothing has happened that is like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is the next step. Each episode kind of ends organically. That it's not left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, this happened, and now we got to wait for next week's episode for this. It does to an extent, but not like. Not
like WandaVision, where it was like everybody was like so wound up. But, and like that one was like, I feel forced into watching that stuff weekly, even if I didn't want to, because it's like, it'll ruin the unfolding of the story, how you're supposed to experience it if people ruin it, stuff like that. So it's like the Spider-Man movie. It's going to be, you're forced into watching it the first day, or you're going to know that X and Y shows up in this movie and blah, blah, blah. And I already know too much about the movie that I didn't want to know. And it's just because I accidentally saw it on the internet. And people be like, well, you don't have to be on social media, but it's part of our job. And we're all humans that are on here. I didn't go looking for it. It's just, you could just not be a jerk and not post that, or write just literally spoilers in your post. But so I think it would become one that I would definitely come and go to. Because eventually I'll probably want to watch The Mandalorian again, honestly. I did enjoy The Mandalorian a lot. I'll probably rewatch Loki. season 2 of Loki's coming around too, you know. So I'm like, I don't know.
See, that's the thing. There are going to be perpetually. There's going to be new stories being told, and I've loved the stories that have been told so far. I like the shows. Like we watched Big Shot, the first season of Big Shot, and
that the John
enjoyed
Stamos
that.
show?
Yeah,
I loved that.
Yeah.
I watched that one. That was good.
That got
So-
renewed. So
It
that's
did.
coming
exactly.
back. Yeah.
it
So
should.
it'll
Yeah.
It needs more. I think it needs more of that stuff where it's like, okay, we're making it for. We're not trying to harp on a millennial or somebody and like, you know, like, oh, we could have made Hocus Pocus for years and years. And don't get me wrong, I'm very excited. I'll watch Hocus Pocus 100%. But my fear is that they're going to, instead of it being like, now we have the right script, they're like, no, we need this right now because we need that subscriber base and we need something for October. So it has to happen right now. You know what I mean? Like I worry about that quality versus quantity.
Yeah. But Denny,
Ah,
so in there. So what
Yeah.
are you watching then? Do you buy by the month or the year?
the year.
The year?
I believe.
After your
Is that
next
still a
year,
deal? Can you
would
still
you?
do that?
Yes, you can still do
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah. So will you resubscribe after your year is up?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I want to stay up on all the shows, whether they're Star Wars
Yeah.
shows or they're MCU or they're just Disney Plus original. I've not watched the Olaf little shorts.
I do want to
thing.
watch that. Yeah.
That's on my list. I enjoyed Behind the Attraction. I know it's problematic with Paget, but there's like the Imagineering story. That was amazing. And if I am standing in my kitchen and I am getting dinner ready and I want to pull up a Marvel movie to have playing, I'll pull it up on Disney Plus.
Okay. So
on my
you
phone.
are using it for Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. There we go. And I feel like I don't have to ask Jackie because it's Jackie, but
Aw.
Jackie, same question.
So I signed up for Disney Plus when not during D23, but it was right after, and it was almost the same deal, but it was 3 years, and then we got a free year with Verizon too. So
nice.
yeah, so we have it, and it'll run out eventually, and I imagine that I'm going to renew it just because I'm kind of overwhelmed with figuring out Marvel. So I haven't quite figured out how to do all of it. And so I always feel so funny when you guys are all talking about all this Marvel stuff and I'm just sitting here kind of like, where's Mickey?
Oh.
So
But they have the Mickey shorts and like stuff like that on there
I don't
too, which
love
is nice.
it's
Oh, you don't
kinda
like the
cool,
new
but
ones, yeah.
I don't really love those. And you know, but I do like, I did watch Big Shot. I love John Stamos. I think he's really cool. And I love the storyline of the way Big Shot went. I love how they I love how they just focused on teaching things in a different kind of an unusual or different way. I love how nobody liked him when he came, and it was anyway, I love that series. I'm glad they renewed it. But like Denny said too, the Imagineering story was awesome. Those behind the scenes type of shows, I sort of live for that. So like if they keep doing that kind of stuff, I imagine that I'll renew it.
You know what? I was thinking, you're saying like, oh, 3 years, it doesn't matter. You know what? We have to renew that in September next year. Or not September. It'll be.
It's getting very close.
But
yeah.
that's where I'm
Coming
like,
up.
I was thinking about that, and I'm like, if there was another similar deal where it was a multi-year contract and there was a deal involved with it, I think that I would probably do it again. But I don't think there will be because I think they want to be incrementally increasing.
You're never going to get it again. The closest is going to be buy the 1 year, and you get a month off. I think basically with that, which it saves you a little bit of money in the grand scheme of things, but it's not like a massive deal by any stretch. And that's I'm going to say it now. After I clearly watched more Disney Plus than anyone else at this, and I was actually going to cancel.
Really?
I was going to cancel this last time around because I'm on the year subscription. So when it comes
You
up
didn't
at
do
the
the
year,
3 years when we
I
went
didn't.
to D23?
I did not believe enough in Disney Plus
Oh,
at D23 Expo.
I thought you did. Yeah.
Nope. I
Holy cow.
when they with what it was cool with the things they were touting, and
Yeah,
you
but none
had
of it
that
came out,
weekend
yeah.
to set up, and I was like, I don't know if I want to invest in 2 years right now to get 3 later. That's just it's an upfront. It's a money upfront and hoping that it works out. And ultimately, I think I would have been happy if I know I would have been happy with the 3 years with it. But back then, I was on the fence about it. And I'm not beating myself up over it. At the end of the day, I'm saying, hey, I'm actually one of the people giving Disney the extra money. So when all those 3 years that signed up for an amazing deal and Verizon deals and all that start to fall apart and they're looking and scratching their heads saying, oh, crap, we have to come up with new stuff. At least I can be like, well, I'm not one of them. I was giving you the yearly on that. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with the model of when there's something that I want to watch on there, I will start watching it because, yeah, I want to watch the Marvel and Star Wars shows. I'm not finding myself watching a lot of the library movies, except around the holidays. But
Are you still buying the hard copies too? When you like it,
yeah. When I like something,
I'm doing that too.
I still buy it, but yeah, I watch my Blu-ray of Home Alone and Home Alone 2. I don't need it on Disney Plus. Most of the time I find the stuff I'm watching on Disney Plus is because it's like, well, I have it and it's interesting enough, but I would never subscribe to Disney Plus solely because I want to watch Big Shot, but it was a happy accident. And so that's where I'm kind of at with Disney Plus right now. I'm still not completely on with it, but when I watch stuff for the most part, I find I sit through more things than I turn off things. But I will say too, the future of I love having National Geographic stuff on it, but they're digging way too deep into it because it is cheap, easy content to make. And
I think that's the thing. I know you like behind the scenes stuff and the National Geographic stuff. I feel like this streaming service is all in the moment biography, whatever. There's very little like narrative content, I feel like, coming out of it in terms of like that for me.
Yeah. Even for a little while, I was keeping up with all the Star Wars, the roundtables that they did after Mandalorian and doing the same thing with Marvel. And I even gave up on those because I'm like, they're not well-made extras. They're like kind of like documentaries, but it's not quite there. It's just not quite there. But I don't care about Will Smith going around to different places on Earth that I'm never going to get to go. That's not my idea of entertainment. Saying if you're famous enough and have enough money, look, they'll give you a TV show that will fund all the fun places you want to go. It's like the same thing. I love The World According to Jeff Goldblum, but at the end of the day, they're like, hey, here's this eccentric man who we've known and loved for years. We'll give you a budget. You choose what you want to go out and do, and people will watch it. And I am one of those people, but it's also, it's not, I don't know. I'm getting... I don't know. I'm getting kind of tired of that style content too. So it's interesting, but I'm glad we had this conversation nonetheless. All you wonderful people at the table. So, and I hope you enjoyed it out there too. And of course, we want to know all your thoughts and feelings on it. So reach out to us, please. We want to know. But that's going to do it for this episode. We're going back on the rails. What I think a special friend wants to say goodbye. Yeah.
Reach out.
Yeah, he was trying to get me. Oh, okay. Hey, I always thought that we had manual focus on that camera, but apparently we do not.
There we go.
So that's an automatic focus for you. But yeah, so thank you. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope the Grinch enjoyed it. We hope everyone had a good time. And if you did and you want to support us more, again, Dreams Unlimited Travel. Get a free no obligation quote at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com for your next vacation. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and then leave comments, questions, and video suggestions in the comment section below. And of course, too, if you're listening to this, make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And if it's through Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star rating and review. It will help more people find the show. But that's it for this week's episode of Off the Rails. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again real soon next time we go off the rails. Take care. Bye-bye.